cigars. It's going down.
It's a jolly day. Would you like to try our peach mango pie with a side of a weekly Miles Edgeworth kissing appointment? Because if you do, then let's go ahead and get started.
Hi, hey everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope you guys are all doing good today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. CB, congratulations on being first. Hello, Moo Moo. Hi, Gay. Happy Pride Month. Hello, Blue Moss. Welcome in. Hi, hey, Osaf. Timbit. Hello. And Yor. Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome in, guys. Happy midweek Miles Edgeworth kissing appointment. I felt like, I don't know, I've been doing Ace Attorney on the weekends pretty often, and I always feel like whenever I do them in the morning, I feel so tired. So I was like, okay, let's try doing it in the middle of the week today. And then I'm just tired. I'm always tired. I think I need to do something. There's something about my life I need to change, so that I'm not always tired. And I know the thing is like exercise or walk, but I don't want to do that. But I know I have to do it. But anyways, I hope you guys are all doing good today. Happy Thursday. We are one more day out until the weekend. How are we all feeling right now? I'm also like getting used to using earbuds again. I'm using IEMs. So I have like basically just little earbuds that are like inside of my ears. And I normally don't use both at the same time, but I'm using both right now. So I'm trying to get used to like hearing my voice through it. But either way, I hope you guys are all doing well. I also have a strawberry lemonade with me right now because it's weird. It's like sunny and bright, but it's also like extremely windy at the moment. Like I could literally hear the wind like banging against my window. And like I have like little plants and stuff at my little porch, and like the little pots are falling, and it's just so crazy at how strong the winds are. It makes me a little bit concerned because the strong winds led to like the big fires that happened in January. So I'm kind of like concerned, and like I hope that nothing happens again. Yeah, I know. But I mean, I'm here, I'm streaming. I'm excited to be here. I always love doing this. And I'm excited to see, it's been so long since we did an Ace Attorney stream in the middle of the week, like in the afternoon. So, actually, I should have done this during the starting screen. I have to send an important email really quick. Give me like 1 second, guys. I always forget to do this. It's very important. It's also so weird hearing through both of my headphones. I'm not used to that anymore. Hi, Angora. Welcome in. Hi, Von Rachel. Welcome in. Sorry, give me like 1 second. I have to do something really quick. Cool. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think there's also like Anime Night Mart this weekend. I totally forgot about that. I might go check that out because it's basically like an artist alley little event at a mall in like SoCal. So there's that too. But I don't know. Today I finished work and I got home and I kind of just laid down in bed and I was like, TikTok. And then suddenly it's time to stream. That's pretty much what my days have been lately. I feel like I need to do something more productive with my life. Maybe pick up reading or something. I don't know. But either way, let's get into it. Hopefully we should be able to finish the case today. I was like asking Kiro, I was like, am I gonna finish this case in like 1 hour? He was like, you're only 2/3 of the way done. I was like, you're kidding me. This game's gonna be long. So let's go into the latter part, the captive turnabout, crime scene recreation. March 29th, 10:12 a.m. Prison Yard. Here we are again. Let's hope we can find something this time that will finally reveal the truth behind it all. Although that might be easier said than done.
There's nothing left to investigate!
Judge Gavel's deduction yesterday. There is another possibility, one you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there? In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved into the workshop. Is she throwing us in for a loop? This woman has been so good at gaslighting us and like misdirecting us. At some point during the show, tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint? Had Knight's body really been thrown down the well? The answer to that question will surely show us the way forward. But before we begin, I should tidy up my organizer a little. Does anyone else have this thing too, where they're sitting at their desk and the blinds for their window, it's like not, there's a little peeking part at the end where like the sunlight could just directly hit your face and it just blinds you? Because it is so annoying.
Let's see here. There's a cover on it!
Dried up well slap bang in the middle of a prison. Figures it'd be locked.
Well, luckily, I'm a master lockpicker. Want me to do my stuff?
I think not. We'll do this investigation by the book.
Oh, come on! Don't be such a stick in the mud! Wow!
What is it, Kay?
Oh my god, the lock's broken! And from the looks of it, it's been broken for a long time!
If that's the case, then anyone could have thrown Knight's body down the well. As gaslight gatekeep as Gavel has been, I really appreciate having a judge that's so active and critically thinking. Yeah, because for the most part, the Ace Attorney judges are like bumbling, silly guys. Judge Gavel's theory was that Mr. Saint carried out the murder here in the yard. And then during the performance, he threw the body down the well. What are you thinking, Miles Areno? Plausible or no?
Oh, why don't we see if Missile can help us out again? He'll be able to tell us if Mr. Knight's body was here, which way it went.
Good idea. I'll call Detective Gumshoe.
Gumshoe speaking.
Detective, I need your assistance. Come to the prison yard and bring Missile with you.
You bet, sir. Gumshoe's 7 secret weapons to the rescue again, huh?
I'm fairly sure Missile belongs to the pressing. I would also like you to bring one of our witnesses. Call the Berry Big Circus and ask Miss Regina Berry to come down here with you.
Yes, sir. I'll be there you know it.
So, what shall we do while we're waiting for Gummy?
Detective, I need your assistance. It works in text, but it doesn't work in speech.
How about, a quick game of hide and seek?
Fun idea, kiddo. But where exactly will we hide? He's not seriously considering it. Your game can wait, Kay. We need to call on one of your more practical skills. I think you know the one. Hi, Tsuki, welcome in.
Oh, you bet I do. One crime scene recreation coming right up.
Say, what now?
Oh, let me show you. Introducing a great thief's great secret weapon. Little Thief.
Not the Nokia phone, the Nokia slide. Whoa! Screens appearing from thin air. This is some next level tech, little sis. Wanna talk me through the deets? What are you doing now?
I'm inputting everything we need for the simulation.
Allow me to explain. This is Mr. Thief. It is a device that can recreate crime scenes at a specific moment in time, based on the data that you feed it.
How about I start us off with a recreation of what the yard looked like yesterday?
Hi, Juan, welcome in. Good idea. That was when they were in the middle of tearing down the stage. Where are my... I didn't do any warm-ups today, so I need to have some sort of
Rope candy.
We didn't pay much attention to the well then. Who knows? We may have overlooked something.
Oh, leave it to me. I'll use the photo that I took. Beepity boopity beep beep boop. That's all the data. Just gotta pump the projection power to max and... Dark skies of evening when no other bird dares take wing. One alone remains all-seeing. Now, witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
Yipes! What is this?
It's a recreation of how things were yesterday, modeled on the data I gave Little Thief. His gadget was a tool used by the original Yatagarasu, but they used it to plan robberies.
Well, there's no harm in using it for something on the right side of the lawn.
Oh, but keep in mind that it can only recreate what you tell it to. It can't simulate things that doesn't have data for, and the data itself contains mistakes. And you'll wind up with those same mistakes in the recreation, too.
But this particular recreation is based on Kay's photo, so we shouldn't run into any problems. That's enough preamble. Shall we get started?
Don't forget, you can examine stuff in the recreation just like in real life. You can also present evidence to try and clear up any inconsistencies you find.
Of course. Thank you for the reminder. Now let's take a look at that well. The Great Thief's great secret weapon. Color me intrigued, Milesarino. Not exactly by the book stuff, though, yeah? Using Great Thief doodads in an official investigation. Whoa, enough of the death stares, Chief. I'm cool, okay? I can keep a secret. Anything for the truth, am I right? It's possible that vital evidence has already been destroyed. Without Kay's reproduction of the scene, we have no hope of finding it. Hey, relax. Like I said, I'll just zip it and nod politely while you cats do your thing. Thank you. That would be very helpful. I love looking at his cravat when he's running. Look at how his cravat is animated. We should examine this area carefully. It may just hold the clue we need. There's a sturdy-looking hemp rope lying on the ground.
Kinda reminds me of the ropes we used for playing tug-of-war in school.
The answer is no, Kay.
What? I didn't even say anything! Yet.
I see it also has a metal stake attached to one end.
Oh yeah, it looks like something you'd use to put up a tent.
There was no tent, was there? In which case, what was it used for? It is a metal weight of some kind. It looks like it weighs... The projection makes it a little tricky to read. Do you remember how heavy it was, Kay?
Sure, it was 30 pounds. What does anyone need such a heavy weight for anyway?
It doesn't seem related to the circus show at any rate.
Oh my god, they just have weightlifts.
There's nothing of interest here. What are a bunch of pulleys doing here? They don't seem to be well pulleys for lifting buckets. The well was behind the stage, which means there aren't many people who could have thrown Knight's body down it during the show. This is looking worse and worse for Mr. Saint.
So what do you think all the stuff around the well was used for? I can't see any of the animals needing them for their part of the performance.
Indeed. Nothing immediately strikes me as a likely purpose. We will have to ask Miss Berry later. Yes, this is where the circus show stage stood.
Do you think people would be interested in a great traveling thieving show?
Oh my god, do I have dyslexia today or something?
I'm sure the police would be very eager to attend. A wicker basket, or rather a cart given the wheels.
Hey, wouldn't it be fun to hop in and race it down a hill? Ooh, you know what else would be fun? Racing down a hill on office chairs!
Where did any of that come from? What's the name of our trunk-happy friend again?
Isaiah the Asian elephant!
Of course. How could I forget? Not exactly inspired, though, is it? Was Miss Berry having an off day when she came up with it?
Oh my gosh, Mr. Edgeworth! Not in front of the poor elephant herself!
I suspect that is all about there is to find for now. Detective Gumshoe should be here soon. Kay, you can power down Mr. Thief for now.
Sure thing! Prepare to return to normality!
Sorry, sir. I came as quick as I could.
Speak of the devil!
Ah, detective. That was indeed impressively quick.
You know me, sir. Never did like to keep you waiting.
Thanks for coming all this way too, Regina. No problem. This seemed way more fun than rehearsal, so I ditched them for the day.
It is very much appreciated. All right, detective. Let's get started with Missile.
Yes, sir. Hey, Missile! Over here, boy! What's the matter? Come on, boy. Come on.
Is Regina evil?
What's wrong with him?
Looks like he's scared of something, sir.
Oh.
Alligator! Guess he's not a fan, sir.
Well, I doubt he will be of much help to us like this. Any other bright ideas, Mouserino? Yes, actually. Miss Berry, would you mind lending us a hand?
Oh, I'd love to! Just tell me what you need. Do you want me to teach Allie some tricks?
I don't doubt she could do it, but... Nothing quite like that. I'd simply like an account of what the yard looked like during the show.
I like where this is going. You're thinking of using Little Thief again, am I right?
If you would be so kind.
Okay, I plugged in all the data. Firing up the simulation. Here you go. This is what the yard was like during the show.
The time at which the body was purported to have been thrown down the well.
Oh, wow, this is so amazing. It's like magic. No magic here, just sweet, sweet data. Which is why...
The area behind the stage is missing.
Yeah, Regina said she wasn't involved in getting the stage set up. So we don't have any idea on what it was like back there.
No data, no simulation, huh? Brutal.
I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all because I let Simeon do the everything by himself.
Oh, no. It's all my frilly associate's fault. Objection, Fender.
Anyway, we got a fresh simulation now, but we still have the other data too. I can switch back whenever you want to the recreation of him taking down the stage.
So we can examine the scene both during and after the show, and switch between the two at will. I can switch the recreations by using the X button to talk with Kay. Now then, let's continue our investigation, shall we?
Hi, Chival. Welcome in. Caught up with your Suikoden 1 finale. So happy you enjoyed. Yes. Yeah, I think we might start Suikoden 2 maybe on the weekend. We'll see. Wait, I just realized. Does this tiger have, like, an emo bang?
Don't say a word, sir. Just what you're looking for. It's written all over your face. I know it.
It is?
Missile may be temporarily out of action, but my fishing rod is good to go whenever you need it. Oh, and if you want to give the metal detector a shot, I have that too.
I've never seen him so excited. I will be sure to let you know if I need either of them, Detective.
It's as bad as it looks, sir. Poor little guy's scared out of his skin.
I'd hope to have him track that scent again. That clearly isn't in the cards now.
So, did you come to visit the prison often, Regina? I sure do. I have so many little friends here. It's wonderful. And they're all such sweeties. The old faces and new. I made a new friend only yesterday. Allie's just the cutest.
Cute? That full-grown alligator lurking in the depths of the pond?
Are you sure about that? Can't help worrying you. You could just walk up and then, you know? Don't be silly. She'd never do anything like that. Especially since she's not doing so great. I heard she hasn't been herself since yesterday. I'm so worried about her. You guys are worried too, right? Right? Yeah, totally. Oh, super worried. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes. Super. Don't rope me into this.
A story of forbidden love between a tiger and an elephant. Oh, I wish I could have seen it. Wish I could have seen Simeon up there on that stage, too.
Hi, Wesley. Welcome in.
Oh, he was wonderful. The way he flew off that stage.
Ah, yes. That scene.
This victory is depicted in a very unique manner, whereby the villain is sent flying from the stage.
Having been ejected from the stage in this manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance.
And you're saying the crime took place during that time? Roughly how long would you say Mr. Saint was off stage for, Miss Berry?
Let's see. I guess it was around 15 minutes.
Just as Judge Gavelle said. Isn't it pretty hairy stealth and safety-wise?
Oh, stealth? Girl, I think... Hold on, let me adjust my blinds. I think the light is really just getting to me. Damn it, I hit my acrylic stand. Adjusting my blinds. Oisha.
Isn't it pretty hairy stealth and safety-wise? Isn't it pretty hairy health and safety-wise having an elephant fling a guy off the stage?
Not at all. Isaiah is very gentle.
I'm not sure if it changes much if she flings him gently or roughly.
Oh, too gentle, in fact. When we first rehearsed it, she barely nudged him. But by the end, he was flying off that stage. Not because of Isaiah, though. Simeon had figured out some kind of trick, apparently. Isn't that amazing?
A trick? Do you have any idea what kind of trick?
Who, me? Oh no, it was Simeon's big thing. I wouldn't know where to start.
The chairs are lined up neatly for the show. Though we know there were a few empty seats during the performance.
Huh. Something about this space. The way the seats are arranged. Reminds me of a karaoke contest I entered as a kid.
You entered a karaoke contest.
I sure did, and I came in second. Even in the depths of night, when no other bird dares to take flight, one alone soars to shine, the light of righteousness on the world's blight.
Tell me you didn't actually sing that.
I sure did.
She did well to take second place. Or perhaps stole is more apt. Or is it more that she failed to steal first place? I'm overthinking this. It's the pen that held Isaiah, the Asian elephant. Now empty, as the lady herself is on stage.
I wonder how they got her there in the first place.
What do you mean?
Well, the entrance to the yard is people-sized. And there's like a gazillion megawatts pumping through that fence. Kinda risky, no?
Not if one turned off the electricity.
Yeah, but then all the prisoners would escape.
Through an entrance blocked by an elephant? I think not.
This is a real puzzler, though. I need to give it some more thought.
She seems to be enjoying the challenge. I'll leave her to it. This basket was empty in the other recreation.
Oh, yeah. But it was definitely empty in the photo I took, too. Oops. Sorry. I made a mistake when I was filling you in earlier.
Oh?
That basket's for holding Isaiah's food, but... on the morning of the show, all the apples that were in it had vanished. Poof. I totally forgot to mention it. Oh, sorry.
Disappearing apples. I should make a note of this.
Now that's one impressive fence! I'm sure I could climb it if I...
Please don't. It is electrified.
I wonder what's on the other side.
The warden's office, I believe.
I guess she likes to keep a close eye on her pets.
This facility would probably function better as a zoo than a prison. It would appear that we are missing some data for this point in time.
Yep, that's about the size of it. You gotta go steal us some data.
I don't steal data, Kay. I use logic and deduction to get what I need.
Oh, I'm more of an act first, think later kind of gal.
Please don't add my workload with your recklessness. I would hate to have to order your arrest.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? All right, you want me to change the recreation to yesterday's stage teardown? There you go. This is how things looked when they were taking down the stage.
I don't believe there's any more to be found here.
Oh my god, Kieran style, hi! It's my best friend.
These chairs must have been for the audience.
Wow, I pity whoever had to put them all away. Yay, midweek Ace Attorney! Yay!
Really? Why?
I had to check your schedule to see if you were streaming today because I was like, he doesn't stream on Thursdays. But I had you tabbed up, and then I checked your schedule and you weren't, and I was like, well, shit.
You've clearly never had to fold up a bunch of boring chairs before, huh?
Not personally. I've told other people to do it, though.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. You've got to roll up your sleeves and help out once in a while.
I will consider it.
Hold on, I just got a message. What? It's just a poll. I got a message that was like, wake up, a new picture of that pro wrestler dropped. And it's like his Instagram story, and it's just like a telephone pole.
The store appears to be locked.
Want me to open it? Can't guarantee anything, but I'll certainly give it a try.
No. If we deem it necessary, we will simply ask for the key.
Spoil sport! That could have been my chance to shine.
You're free to shine somewhere else, but you will not make an audience out of me.
Hi, Transient. Welcome in.
Oh, ah!
No!
Ah!
Hi, Lyra. Welcome in. Oh my god, the lemonade is good, but I do think I need to water it down a little. You know, like when you just have pure lemonade from like the bottle, it's a little bit too like syrupy and strong. Edgeworth fiercely mashing puzzle pieces together. Him and Phoenix, or me with him and Phoenix. Ah! I have so many puzzle pieces, but none of them fit! This girl, she's the killer. She's the killer.
This pond is home to Warden LaGuardia's beloved alligator.
And look! Those bones must be from her latest meal!
I somewhat doubt an alligator could pick a carcass clean like that.
You think? I got the feeling she was rather ladylike in her own way, actually.
If you say so.
Well, I do! I have a sixth sense for these kinds of things.
An interesting talent, though not one I am particularly envious of.
She's doing the Rui thing from Pokemon Coliseum. I guess the other thing of note is that the cart got moved.
Huh? This basket was empty in the other recreation.
Hi, Pickled. Welcome in. How are you doing today? You want to jump scare me? You got to do Nikki first before you do the high, because I will see if you high. I feel like it's connect the dots time, but I don't know what dots I'm connecting. Oh, it's just your entrance? I understand. It's your Friday, you get it, but you love your Mexican food.
The apples in the basket were likely eaten by Isaiah.
Really? That's strange. I made sure to put the cart where her trunk couldn't reach them.
Are you sure about that?
Oh yes, it was still full of apples the night before the show.
And we must consider the possibility that the cart was moved to somewhere within Isaiah's reach. A large basket full of apples couldn't have been moved by the wind, which likely means somebody moved it for a reason. So before the show had even started, the cart had been moved and its apples eaten. Yes, that seems to be the most probable timeline. Let's update the recreation, Kay.
Will do. I'll add that in the simulation of the performance then. Updating based on what Regina's told us now. There, all done.
I haven't had Mexican food in a bit. Well, I mean, I did get those birria nachos, but like, I kind of want to get tacos. I want to get like tacos dorados, you know? We figured out who killed Pisshead. Maybe. I feel like it's Girly Pop over here. I think it's this little diva. Well, she's not a diva. She's a killer.
Little wonder it smelled of animals. It was being used for the elephant.
To hold Isaiah's apples, right? Yep, it was full of them by the day of the show.
So they vanished overnight?
Ooh, did you figure something out, Mr. Edgeworth?
Quite possibly.
Yeah, we're still on the same case. No, this is a long case.
It's the pen that held Isaiah the Asian elephant. Now empty as the lid. Oh wait, no, we read this already. This door appears to be locked.
So this is the same, it's just different. Like it's moved differently. The basket was moved by someone the night before the show. Items around the well. Eh. Eh. I had to go sleep the other night. Did we beat Miss Windy? We didn't even fight her. She was not the final boss. The final boss was just the Emperor. She was like I thought she was gonna be the one, but it wasn't her. I was so disappointed. Windy, when I found, oh, see, here's the thing. You're not gonna find her because the Emperor grabbed her by the hand and said, "I've always loved you," and it wasn't because you looked like my dead wife. And then he jumped from the balcony with her. Cold. Who is that emote supposed to be of? Was Fawn from a long time ago with an old man filter on? Girl, oh my god. He is so unserious. Oh, it's like a thing. You could like pay 30 bits to make an emote look big in the chat. I don't get what's different now, though. Like, what else do I have to put together? Items around the well. No, I tried the basket of apples. The basket of apples isn't ready yet. Oh my god, wait, what? Is that gonna show up on the VOD? I've never had that be used before. I don't see it on OBS, but if it shows up on the VOD, I have to check. Hmm. Hmm. This one is so hard. What am I missing? What am I not understanding? Not sure if she's one of your divas. Have you listened to the new Lady Gaga album? It's really good. I haven't listened to it yet. I don't actively listen to her albums. Like, I think my favorite era of hers is like The Fame or The Fame Monster. But like, I don't really like deep dive into any of her albums. But I hear it's really good, so I should listen to it. I think someone said there's like a song on it that's very like Carly Rae Jepsen, very Kylie Minogue disco. What am I supposed to? There's a track that's very Taylor Swift. Another one that's very Michael Jackson. Ooh. Yeah, I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it.
It looks like this was designed for raising and lowering a bucket. No sign of the bucket, though.
Is there something else I should be on the lookout for? I can't get on the stage. I'm gonna pull up the guide. What is this one called? The Captive Turnabout. What? I feel like I did that already. I thought I merged these two already!
The trick Mr. Saint performed for his big scene. Could it have something to do with all the items we found by the well? Kay, I'd like to have another look at the equipment around the well from yesterday. Can you have Mr. Thief bring up the recreation from when they were tearing down the stage?
You got it!
Taking another look at these items, could they not have been used for this trick of Mr. Saint's?
Sounds plausible enough. Hey, maybe I can add it to the simulation.
Good idea. Please go and ask Mr. Saint for the details.
Roger that. I'll be right back.
She can just leave in the middle of the simulation?
I'm back, and he told me exactly how he did it.
Excellent. Well, how does it work?
He said he used the pulley at the top of the well to suspend a heavy weight from a rope and lowered that down into the well. The other end of the rope went through 2 more pulleys, and it was tied around his body.
I see. So he used the downward pull of the weight to help launch himself into the air. But how did he make sure the weight only dropped when he wanted it to?
He used a stake to stop it, that's how. Miss Barry
Miss Barry didn't seem to know anything about the trick or the contraption he built for it. In which case, I suppose it must have been Mr. Saint himself who pulled out the stake.
That's right, and to do that, he used the second link of the rope. He tied it to the stake, and then when he gave it a sharp tug,
the stake was released, and the weight dropped down to the well.
it's a great trick. I have to steal it. This one has to be in the Great Thief's repertoire.
It may not be quite that easy. These kinds of circus tricks can require years of practice to master. Simply stealing the idea won't be enough.
All right, practice it is then.
Well, before you run away to do so, would you mind updating the simulation?
All right, then we can see how it all worked for ourselves. Okay, I'm switching back to the recreation of the performance. And now to add in the data. Little Thief should be able to reproduce the trick now.
So this is how Mr. Saint performed his trick.
Simeon's full of surprises, huh? I mean, dropping a weight down from a well to help him fly off stage like that? That's genius!
Indeed. But I imagine he would have needed quite a lot of weight. More than him at the very least. It would have taken some serious pull to lift him into the air like that.
Yeah, and probably a ton of practice.
He's lighter than 30 pounds? The album is a bit top heavy, but it has some earworms for sure. Is it more like dance pop focused, or is it more like sad ballady? Because I don't like slow sad ballad songs.
Wait! Doesn't this seem odd to you?
No? You haven't noticed, Detective. There's something strange about the weight we found. The one weight on its own wouldn't be heavy enough. A single 30-pound weight couldn't have lifted Mr. Saint off the ground. Oh, yeah! In which case, could there perhaps be some weights missing? Sounds like a job for my Secret 7 weapon, sir! Should the need to use them arise, I suppose I should speak with him.
It's more dance pop with a few ballads at the end, and there are some rock, punk, funk. Okay, I think I might actually really like this album then. I say the fewer ballads, the better. But I feel like I'm like the opposite of like what most people like because I think people really like ballads, but I'm not that girl.
Detective, I have need of one of your secret weapons. Roger that! The metal detector, if you would be so kind. Oh, jeez! I'm never gonna get to use my fishing rod. So, before we get started, let me run you through how the metal detector works, sir. It's simple enough. It uses this sound and this gauge to tell you how close you are to something made of metal. The closer you get, the more strongly it'll react. When it starts going around like this, just give me the order to examine the spot where I'm standing. Say, what do we got here? Oh, the fence. Anyway, that's how it all works. You tell me where you want me to look, sir, and I'll get right on it.
We're playing as Gummy? Yay!
There's a lot of inspiration from the previous albums, but it feels fresh. Gummy's always teaching us about some rudimentary piece of software.
We're close, sir. There must be something metallic nearby.
Yay! We're playing as Gummy!
Detective, there will be time to chat later. We have an investigation to conduct. Yes, sir.
Hi, Schmoopskun.
I got something! There's something in here, sir! Ooh! It's a gold coin, sir! What a find! It'll go down in history. I don't imagine a gold coin would stay hidden long in a prison yard.
Oh, you found it! Never would have guessed it was hiding there this whole time. That's one of the coins from the big coin hunt we had every 1-2 weeks.
Hey, that sounds kinda interesting. Must be fun for the whole family.
Sure is. The prisoners have to hunt for the coins the warden buried around the yard. And if they find 3 silver coins or 1 gold coin, they can swap them for a jelly donut. First the show, now a treasure hunt. Is this a prison or a playground?
All right, let's get back to it.
Oh my god. I took out one of my in-ear monitors. I really feel like it's hard for me to just read and like interpret words when I have both my ears plugged in. I think maybe it's like, I don't know, my thoughts can't focus when I can't fully hear my voice clearly. Crazy how many people own metal detectors. Like, what do you need? I don't know what people need metal detectors for. Like, what kind of treasures are you gonna find?
I found something. There's something here, sir. I don't see anything metallic. What did the detector pick up? Guess it must have just picked up some iron sand. Iron sand? As in sand you can pick up with a magnet? That's the stuff. You can find it at the beach sometimes. And I got just the thing we need here. Introducing secret weapon number 6 or 7. Are you making this up as you go along? A seemingly ordinary magnet that I found at the hardware store. Watch this.
We're watching. We're watching. Yeah. Yeah.
I just bring it close to the ground and ta-da! It's picking out the iron. Woohoo! Come on, little guys, come to Daddy. It must be nice to be so easily entertained. Regardless, the investigation must continue. Sir, I'm picking up something over here. Let's take a little look-see. Huh? Found these little guys in the grass. They're the same as the weight we found by the well. They must be from Mr. Saint's trick. Did someone hide these here on purpose? I count 4 altogether, sir.
Then they would have been more than heavy enough to send him flying.
So somebody hid several of the same weights as the one by the well. But why? And why over here? Yes! Nice work, me! Ah!
Alligator!
That thing nearly gave me a heart attack! Huh? What's the matter, detective? It's the metal detector, sir. It's, reacting to the alligator.
What? How?
You're sure it's not responding to the weights we just found? No, sir. I'm sure this is something different, and I'm sure it's coming from the alligator. And she's gone.
We scared that big snapper good. I don't think that's it, Kay.
Hi, ever-waiting sleeper. Welcome in.
Huh? Then what is it? Allie hasn't been herself lately.
That's the name. Allie, the warden's favorite pet.
No, Jennifer Coolidge! She can't be the killer!
She wouldn't even look at the food Warden LaGuardia bought her yesterday. She was acting as if, I don't know, as if maybe she'd eaten something that didn't agree with her.
Maybe the metal detector was responding to whatever she ate, sir.
Oh no! What if she ate one of the weights?
I highly doubt that even an alligator could swallow a 30-pound lump of iron. So what did the metal detector actually pick up? And why would someone hide those weights? Perhaps I missed something when I looked at the equipment by the well. Kay, could you recreate the scene again?
Coming right up!
I must scour the scene.
Are we ready for a deduction? I think I got it.
Could this be related to the evidence somehow?
Eureka!
No.
Wait, it is! What? No! Hi, Pat. Welcome in. That's what I'm saying! The other rope!
Think about the two recreations. The one during the performance and the one that we are looking at right now. There's a major difference between the two. Okay, I gotta reload because I don't wanna...
My HP! My HP's so important.
Namely, one of the ropes is missing.
I was right! Why didn't you accept my evidence, game? Oh, yeah!
Mr. Saint's trick wouldn't work with only the items we see before us.
So what happened?
Where did the missing rope go? I think one of the pieces of evidence we've collected might tell us exactly that.
Really?
Which shows us where the missing rope went. This rope was found beside Knight's body.
Wait! You mean...
Yes, it must have been the other rope used in Mr. Saint's trick.
So you're saying...
Yes. This rope did indeed have a weight attached to it! But it wasn't any of the iron weights we found. Those were hidden in the bushes and replaced with something else.
What was it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, I'm dying here!
Think about what the rope we found in the workshop was related to. Do that and you will soon figure out the answer. The weight dropped down the well in place of the iron weights was... Take that! It could only have been Mr. Knight's body that was dropped down the well.
What? Mr. Knight's body was the weight?
Yes. Somebody first swapped out the weights used for Mr. Saint's trick. Then Mr. Saint used a contraption to make his exit from the stage. Then he let the rope around his body loose. Both the rope and Mr. Knight's body fell to the bottom of the well. That rope was never used to restrain Knight. It was used to suspend his body halfway down the well. From this, we can easily see why most of the weights were hidden.
So that no one would realize it'd been replaced with the body!
Precisely. We can then further deduce that they were hidden by the killer. Whoa there, gang! Wasn't poor old Bronco stabbed in the neck? Wouldn't there be blood everywhere? Including down that well?
Oh, the killer!
Thought of that, which is why they used this. What did
Oh, the killer!
use to stop Knight's blood from going everywhere?
Take that!
This tarp was found with the body. I think it's likely that Knight's corpse was wrapped in it. Oh, another piece of the puzzle falls into place. It's all coming together now. Love it!
But all we're doing is proving that the body did go down the well. Which means we're helping to prove that Simeon was...
Oh, the killer!
No, not quite.
But what about what Judge Cavalli said yesterday?
But if Mr. Saint truly is,
Oh, the killer!
why would he need to go to such lengths to commit his crime?
That's true.
Knight's body fell down the well when Mr. Saint used his contraption during the show. Therefore, it reveals nothing about where the real
Oh, the killer!
actually was or what they were doing at the time. It is only designed to throw suspicion onto those who were not at the show.
Yeah, I guess we did suspect Mr. Canis right away, huh?
That was
Oh, the killer!
goal. to make us think that the crime took place during the show. In other words, they used the well contraption to construct an alibi. Miss Berry, when exactly did Mr. Saint put this contraption together?
It would have been the day before the show. The night before, actually. Yes, we started getting ready for the show at around 9 p.m. And I think we finished around midnight?
In which case,
Of the killer!
must have switched the weights out for the body after that point. Did Canis know about this contraption? Even if he did, he wouldn't have been able to do much with it. And I highly doubt that he taught his dog to suspend bodies halfway down wells. Which means... Canis isn't!
Of the killer!
Hi, Luke. Welcome in.
I've been aware of the killer since birth.
Mr. Edgeworth, I think I cracked the case, sir! What if
Of the killer!
was an invisible man? Go on. Well, the weapon came out of nowhere, and nobody knows how the body was moved. None of that makes sense until you put an invisible man into the picture. Detective, don't tell me you think invisible people really do exist. Who knows, sir? But it'd be fun to see one, though, huh? What a winning idea. Perhaps we should make your assignment to Mr. Wiener permanent from tomorrow. You gotta be kidding me! That kid probably still believes in Santa Claus! People in glass houses.
Oh my god, he's playing Marvel the Rival. I want to play Marvel the Rival. That's why there's no apple, so that they could move the body. The body T.
The basket was moved the night before the circus performance, and we've deduced that the weights were switched out for the body T at around the same time.
Hard to chalk all that up to coincidence, huh?
Then the next question we should be asking is, why was the cart moved? I think I can hazard a guess. The cart would have been blocking that door, which can only mean
That somebody needed to open it. Now let's see what's... Oh, great. It's locked. Let me ask a guard for help. Hey, Mr. Guard!
yes, miss.
What can I do for you?
That was fast.
Edgeworth, didn't you know today's literally the 22nd anniversary of Final Fantasy X too?
Guard, where's the key for this door? Oh, the warden keeps hold of that. I'll go ask her for it. Warden LaGuardia is the only one with a key. Meaning if somebody did open the door, they would have had to get it from her somehow.
Thanks for the help.
Look at all these chickens.
They must control the electricity for the whole prison.
So we're thinking somebody got in here the night before the show, right? But why? What were they trying to do?
Well, I doubt they came here by mistake thinking it was a break room. They must have come to tamper with the switches.
Did they turn off the power to something?
Come to think of it, wasn't there something that lost power? What might have lost power had a breaker been flipped?
There was something that was like the timing reset, right? The time's reset. Yes.
There was a 3-hour gap in the security camera footage.
Oh yeah, there was! So somebody flipped the breaker it was connected to.
It seems very likely.
Do you think it was?
Oh, the killer!
It's true that shutting off the cameras would have made things easier for them,
It would!
which means
Oh, the killer!
would have to be someone who had access to the breakers. And it seems only one person has the key. It could be. It couldn't be. Could it?
Jennifer Coolidge, no!
All right, little thief, your work here is done. First on the scene, the early bird wins the worm.
Good morning, Mr. Winner.
What? You? How did you get here before me?
Good morning, Mr. Edgeworth. I see you've made an early start.
And I see you've made a late one, Judge Gavel.
This is not my only case. I am a very busy woman. Not all of us enjoy the freedom of a prosecutor relieved of his only current responsibility. Oh, I do apologize. I meant, of course, an associate attorney.
Associate? More like asinine.
We'll see about that.
Eustace, let us begin the investigation of the yard.
Okay, I'll go get some officers to help.
That won't be necessary.
Hi, howdy, welcome in.
Why not?
You've already finished investigating the yard and won quite the prize in the process.
Won? But I'm supposed to be the winner.
Your Honor. I'd like to revisit your theory from yesterday, in order to thoroughly disprove it.
I would caution you to choose your words carefully, Mr. Edgeworth. As I'm sure you remember, your badge is in my hands.
How could I forget? You've told me several dozen times already. Perhaps you'd care to try a different threat.
You have been warned repeatedly, yes. And each time, my words seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Allow me to make this crystal clear. The committee cannot and will not tolerate insubordination.
The fate of my badge and the whims of the committee are of no concern to me now. The only thing that concerns me is proving Simeon Saint's innocence.
Interesting. And spoken like a true defense attorney. In that case, I shall be equally uncompromising. In the name of the goddess of justice, I will strike down your case without mercy. And when I am done, your career as a prosecutor will be over as well. I hope you do not come to regret this.
Judge Gavel's theory.
My theory remains the same as when I related it to you yesterday. Mr. Carcerato did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could have only been dropped down the well during the show. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down during the show is Mr. Saint.
That's still your assertion? And you can prove it, of course.
Of course she can! Who do you think you're up against?
What Eustace means to say is that we received the final autopsy report just ahead of our arrival.
She really is a very busy woman. Busy looking after baby Winner.
The victim appears to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is as stated. It seems the wound is 4 inches deep. Simeon Saint was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. That was plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well.
Judge Gavelle hasn't investigated the yard yet, which means... I fear there may be something of a flaw with your theory, Your Honor.
I can't believe she updated the autopsy report on Edgeworth. How the turntables. You seem very confident of that. But do you have any evidence to prove it?
Yes, I think I just might.
Objection! Oh.
Oopsie. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Miles buys Phoenix a belated sorry for being insufferable fancy dinner now that he knows what it's like. No! He would never admit to it. Miles Edgeworth is very much the embodiment of no chance, no way, I won't say it, no, no. Huh? No, but like I'm right.
Hold it! That theory being that Mr. Saint was the killer. You're certainly clinging to it rather stubbornly.
And you are certainly clinging rather stubbornly to the idea that Mr. Saint wasn't the killer. Do you have any conclusive evidence that he wasn't? Any idea who the quote-unquote real killer might be?
I'd like to see what evidence you have yourself first.
I am an emissary of the goddess of justice. My words are her words. But her words are wasted on you, I see. Why would you challenge me if I said the sky was blue? Oh.
Is this a court or a cult?
If you truly mean to refute the word of the divine, my selective dyslexia right now is so strong that I almost read it as, if you truly mean to refute the word of the diva, then come, show me your evidence.
Isn't it possible that Mr. Carcerato simply failed to notice the body?
Assistance to the associate attorney.
Must answer my calling.
You've been through the secret passage, have you not? She is the diva. She's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Whoa, how'd you know?
I noticed mud on you yesterday. On that charming key in your hair, to be precise.
Oh, that's incredible. You could be a great thief with eyes like that.
Answer me truthfully in the name of the goddess. Wait, doesn't someone say, in the name of the goddess? In like Marvel the Rival? Would you or would you not have noticed a body had one been present?
Well, I guess I would have.
Storm? Then there you have it. Mr. Carcerato did not see a body, which means there was no body there to see.
Could you talk us through your reasoning on that a little more?
Gavel would play Storm? Gavel's a gay man. The day before the performance, Mr. Knight borrowed the keys from Mr. Carcerato.
Or more specifically, the key to his cell.
Mr. Knight then used the key to leave his cell and enter Mr. Saint's cage. Mr. Saint took Mr. Knight to the yard in that cage, and that is where he killed him. The following day, Mr. Carcerato crawled his way through the tunnel, but there was no body there yet.
Wait a second. That doesn't add up. Mr. Carcerato smelled that sweet smell. That smelly smell that smells smelly. So Mr. Knight must have been in the tunnel already.
No, his body did not pass through the tunnel until sometime after Mr. Carcerato had crawled through it. Mr. Carcerato used the tunnel right around the time the show was starting. The body was discovered just after the performance ended.
From which you deduce that the body could only have been thrown down the well during the show.
Yes, and who the culprit must be.
Are you sure about that? Could no one else have done it?
I understand that Miss Barry was on stage for the entire performance. Most of the prisoners were watching the show, and those who were not have plausible alibis.
What about the guards?
They too were watching the show, as was the warden.
How can you be so sure? A guard could have easily approached the well unnoticed.
None of the guards left their posts during the show. I have checked this for myself, you know. I took statements from each and every one of them.
She's thorough, I'll give her that.
Are you finally ready to accept the truth?
Oh, the killer!
That could only have been Simeon Saint.
Judge Gavel hasn't carried out a full investigation of the yard yet. Which means we got the advantage for a change. I should review the evidence we gathered during our investigation of the yard.
Hmm. What do we have here again? Building layout, pocket chest set, Mr. Knight's body, rubber glove, rope, bloody tarp, door sensors, prison roll call, Mr. Sawit's bracelet, dog chest piece, prison search, chest diagram, security camera footage. Deployed at the entrances to both the detention center and the tunnel prints.
I feel like I answered this already. What? Am I being weird, or is the game being weird today, guys?
Sorry, Your Honor, but there's something else you're going to have to take into account. The well in the yard was rigged up to create a certain unique contraption.
A contraption. Go on.
You will recall that Mr. Saint was sent flying from the stage by the elephant.
I do. Just before he was absent for some time.
He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope that he tied around himself. Dropping the weighted end down the well allowed him to complete the trick.
Objection!
Wait, wouldn't that send him flying as soon as he set a foot on stage?
Hold it!
It's simple, really. He kept the weight from falling by using a stake to keep the rope in place. With the second rope, he was able to pull the stake free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We have found evidence to suggest that the original weight was replaced with Knight's body. This was done by the real killer in order to create an alibi. The estimated time of death tells us that the murder took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show.
Objection!
You're saying Mr. Saint himself set this contraption up, right? Well then, who do you think is the number one most likely person to have used it to dispose of a body? Even you must see how this looks.
If Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Judge Gavelle theorized, without those extra steps. Miss Berry,
Yes?
does anyone else know if Mr. Saint's trick works?
Well, let's see. We had to get the prison's approval on what we were going to perform. So I don't think Simeon's the only one who knows.
There you have it.
Interesting. You've certainly been diligent in your investigation. And yet, I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right?
Is what I am doing wrong? If so, who is it that deems it so?
How can you not grasp even that? How can you not see that you are doing wrong at this very moment? You are a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. This flies in the face of common sense. You are breaking every rule in the book.
I think only of what is right and just, and act as I see fit in each situation I am confronted with. This is the path I have chosen, and whether you can comprehend that choice is immaterial. But if you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all I can to bear.
Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well. If this is her will that we must fight, then I shall end this once and for all. Listen well, Miles Edgeworth, for there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer. If the body T was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here, to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint. And thus, he remains the only plausible suspect. Mr. Saint took a cage with him to Mr. Knight's cell. But why would he do that? Why take such an unwieldy object all the way to the holding cells?
Yeah, it is pretty sus.
Ooh, that's how you know this was a 2024 localization. Hi, Mevox, welcome in.
But we all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do. It's entirely plausible that he took the cage with him out of absent-mindedness and nothing else.
Don't be fooled by the rocks I got. I'm still Gavel from the block. No! It may be plausible, but it is no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape. Why do they make him say a lot this time?
I need some real solid evidence if I'm going to get her to budge.
The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint.
You're certain nobody else had the opportunity?
Need I remind you that we are in a prison? The entire facility is monitored at all times. Anything out of the ordinary would have been spotted.
But Mr. Saint was under that same scrutiny, was he not?
The warden had granted the members of the circus troupe special access. As a member of that troupe under the supervision of Miss Barry, he is the only person who is free to wander where he will.
It seems you've forgotten something, Your Honor.
Forget is not a word in my vocabulary, Mr. Edgeworth.
Very well. Then recall this fact, if you will. You claim that Mr. Saint is the only person who was free to walk around the prison. But there was a brief period of time on the day of the crime in this prison. A time where it would have been possible for anyone to move through the prison entirely unmonitored.
Oh. Take that! What? What do you mean?
Hold it!
What?
Hold it! Overruled! Objection! Overruled!
Oh, it's the security camera?
Take that!
Am I jumping the gun?
Mr. Saint is far from the only one who had the opportunity.
Which opportunity are we talking about again?
We'd previously established that the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours. And from this, we can deduce that there must have been a power outage lasting for that length of time, during which anyone could have moved around the prison undetected.
Do you mean to say that our killer intentionally created this 3-hour gap? That it was no simple camera malfunction? Is that even possible?
It was completely possible to create the 3-hour gap using the breakers! Our investigation of the yard turned up something rather interesting. A panel of the breakers, one of which was used to cut the power to the security cameras. We also learned that the door to the power room may have been opened at around the time of the murder.
What? Oh, such a shame. To see one so capable fall so short of the mark.
Mr. Edgeworth knows what he's doing!
Then how does he explain the lock on the power room door?
Oh, yeah. It was kind of locked up tight. And the warden's the only one with the key.
Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure. So I very much doubt that anyone could have gained access to the power room's key so easily.
Objection!
No, but one person could have.
I beg your pardon?
That person
Oh, the killer!
had easy access to it, in fact. And what's more, their position here is such that nobody would dare question them.
Objection!
What? There's no one like that. The breaker to the electric fence is in there. It would be questioned in an instant.
There is only one person who meets this criteria. I can hardly believe it myself, but I have to follow where the logic leads. The person who had access to the power room key was...
Take that!
Take that! The real culprit is...
Miss Diva Boots!
Warden LaGuardia.
Oh, just look at you. Aren't you the cutest little poochie woo?
He's not just a pretty face. Missile also has quite the nose for sweet things. It seems he's smelling something very sweet indeed, and it's coming from you.
Oh, darling. You're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume.
And perhaps it is the sweet stench of death.
You're a regular poet, aren't you? I had no idea. But if I didn't know better, I'd almost think you were calling moi the killer.
That is precisely what I am calling you.
What?
Warden LaGuardia is the killer.
Mr. Edgeworth, do you realize what you're saying? Oh, ooh, such a naughty boy. How could he suspect me, I'm the one in charge around here. It's like we're in a murder mystery, aren't we? And equally far-fetched. This is preposterous.
Hold it!
Sadly, it is not. Although I can hardly believe it myself. But this is where the evidence points, and we must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence proves that Warden LaGuardia is the killer.
The roll?
Take that!
Your scent betrays you, Warden. And here is your accuser.
This is such... This is so scary and ugly.
You knew it was her, not Miss Diva Boots.
The police dog.
We had him track a sweet scent that was lingering around Knight's body way back when it was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent, and it is coming from you!
Oh, darling, you're priceless. Really, you are. Your evidence is... Oh, a whiff of suspicion.
Verity, dear, do put him in his place.
It seems Judge Gavel may have reached a similar conclusion to myself.
I was not definitely defending her frame one until now. No, her busted blonde bob! You believe this to be no mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. After all, she had the key, and the scent found lingering on the body is hers as well. Were it just one or the other, we might be able to brush it off as a coincidence, however.
Indeed. Then it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself.
We should. And when we have, this case will finally be at an end.
Oh, you're all being simply awful. Oh, stop looking at me like that. Me?
Oh, the killer!
How could I possibly do such a thing? Verity told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in his cell, so by your logic, I would have had to have killed him there. But how am I supposed to have moved the body? Especially as I never went into the prison. I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began. Check if you like. You won't find a record of anywhere of my having entered or left the prison proper. See, Gavel is so much more of a diva when she's on our side. Gavel truly is just to get dedicated to her goddess. I like that Gavel is going along with it. I feel like other rivals would still be putting up a fight, and because she was so brutal at other points in the case, it doesn't feel like we lost any rival time. It's definitely because, why am I blanking out on his name? Sexy Wolfman. Lang was very antagonistic to us until the very end, and even at the end, he was still a little bit antagonistic. Gavel, I was gonna say LaBelle, Patti LaBelle, she's just so stuck up in her beliefs. She thinks that she's right. I still think that, like, prosecutor's circle or whatever is pretty evil, though. I haven't the first idea what harebrained theories you little scamps have cooked up, but I'm innocent. There's simply no way I could be.
Oh, the killer!
Give me a break. Missile doesn't lie. Don't make it hard on everyone and just come clean. Let's go back to the beginning.
Oh dear, I'm afraid you are the one making things difficult. As I just said, I never went into the prison. If you think I'm lying, go and check the records.
She clearly wants us to check those records, which means they won't help us. We'll just have to find another way of getting the truth out of her.
Oh, please, Mr. Edgeworth, stop being a big silly. You've made a boo-boo and you know it. Winter Gavel the Warden, there we go. Hi, Cuddle Bunny, welcome in. Objection!
What? No!
Objection!
Hold it!
Judge Gavelle told you everything. Are you... close?
Thick as thieves, darling. Why do you ask? Are you jealous?
Jealous? I like men.
I had to ask Warden LaGuardia for a lot of information on the first day of our investigation. It seemed only right that I share some information in return.
Oh, Verity, you have to make it sound so awfully dry. I thought we'd have a lovely chat.
I simply shared the truth in our conversation. It was the least I could do. I love doing the Jennifer Coolidge voice. If you guys are ever sad, if you guys are ever having a bad day, just try doing the Jennifer Coolidge voice, and I think it'll just cheer you up.
I'm not so sure what's going on, but these two...
Imagine Edgeworth just try to do a Jennifer and Coolidge impression. It's like when Tier's dad says,
Happy. I'm not sure what's going on, but these two... they're terrifyingly formidable together.
These gays are trying to kill me.
Hold it!
The murder took place in his cell? You seem very happy to accept that.
And why shouldn't I be? It seems the most likely place for it to have happened without drawing attention. And besides, they found Knight's blood in his cell.
Yes, but that was from being struck by Mr. Carcerato.
"Oh, I needn't tell her that, I suppose."
I take it there's also been no testimony to the contrary.
What does it matter? Knight being killed in his cell doesn't go against any of the facts anyway.
Hold it!
Do you have any evidence that you didn't enter the prison?
Please, darling, let me finish this.
When I see the word darling, I always think of Lisa from Genshin. She'd be like, "Hi, darling." And now I'm just trying to think of Lisa, but like as a Jennifer Coolidge impression. What are like some things that she says?
Hi, darling.
Hold it!
Blitz.
So you were in your office the whole time? And you didn't notice anything unusual?
No, I can't say that I did.
And you didn't notice anything missing?
I must confess, I'm a rather messy girl.
Oh my god, me too. She's just like me for real, for real.
And a forgetful one at that. I put something down and it's lost forever. It's a curse, darling. A curse. I even lost some important evidence recently. It was gone. Just like that.
Hi, Mikleo, welcome in.
What? And she still has a job?
Honestly, if somebody came into my office and took something, it might be years before I noticed.
Seems like I'll need more than the power room key to expose her.
On the day of the murder, I was working in my office. Oh, and looking for something that I misplaced. Even if I had a reason to go into the prison,
I simply wouldn't have had the time. I say, Dreamer, welcome in.
Hold it!
Who's going to fire her? The Circle of Prosecutors.
Sure, maybe you didn't go through the main entrance to the prison. But what if you took another route?
Oh, come on, sweetie. Surely you don't mean that awful, filthy tunnel they discovered. Why, until yesterday, I had no idea it even existed.
No, you had another way in, I'm certain of it. A route that didn't require going through the main entrance or the tunnel. The route you went through was through this location.
Take that!
Through the fence?
Warden, you took Knight from his cell and brought him to your office, which just happens to be connected to the yard. If you had a way through the fence, then you would have been able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel.
A gold star for creativity, darling. And how would I have gotten through the fence, The extremely high fence, topped with razor wire, with thousands of volts of electricity going through it.
Yeah, how was she supposed to have gone through that,
The fence's electricity supply can be cut off from the power room.
I'm back and you ate dinner. Kieran, you'll pay for what you've done to me. Wait, I'll pay for what? I'll pay for what, Homovox? I think you're the one that paid me because I got my Twitch payout. And you paid for my internet bill. I'm kidding. All day I've been thinking about Dongwoo. You're welcome. She really called him a gold star.
And only you had the key, Warden. No one but you could have done it.
Utterly ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden LaGuardia was on the detention center side. How would she have even reached the power room? Exactly, Verity, darling. Well, clever puss. You've dug yourself a real hole now. If there is no record of Warden LaGuardia having entered the prison proper, then the idea that she could have shut off the fence by using the breaker is out of the question.
There must have been some way she could have done it.
The Cravat Lord himself. Hi, Dale. Welcome in. Clever Puss is gonna be my drag name.
Take a deep breath, big guy. Lose your cool and you've lost everything. But if I don't find a solution, she might still wriggle out of this. Hey, I said take a deep breath, not freak out and completely lose your cool.
Clever Puss dug a hole. Mother Fifi LaGuardia of House LaGuardia is relentless! No! Are you saying we need to name someone in our next GPL like either Fifi or LaGuardia?
There's nothing to be gained by banging your head against the same wall, yeah?
I don't know if I want to make him Southern or not. I feel like he needs some sort of accent, but I don't know what it is.
No matter how you look at it, Warden LaGuardia couldn't have done it alone.
Mr. Edgeworth, if you... You aren't doing yourself any favors by obstructing justice with your silence.
That was a reflexive objection. But now that I've yelled it, if I don't come up with an answer, it's all over.
The name Fifi is actually pretty. It's pretty. You know who needs that name? Purloin. I think Purloin and Lipard is very like either Fifi or LaGuardia or even Jennifer Coolidge. J. Coolidge, Jennifer C.
I have one more thing to add, if you'll permit me.
Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side. Wait, hear me out. What do you guys think of this idea that I just realized? I feel like Miss Diva Boots Cavell, you know who I think would play her really well? If Jennifer Coolidge is gonna be Fifi LaGuardia, I think Miss Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss villain Diva Boots Cavell, I think she might be, I can almost imagine Michelle Yeoh playing her. I don't know, can you see it? It's giving Madame Morrible. Oh, Slay? Like, can we see the vision? Can we see the vision? The Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss Queen, Miss Michelle Yeoh? The vision is crystal? Okay, good. Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side of the fence. I just, like, any like, older female character that's, like, giving a little bit of an air of, like evil, but, like, refined evil, that's Michelle Yeoh. That would eat. Hi, Oreo. It's been a while. I hope you're treating yourself well. Thank you for stopping by.
Yes, because it is not as impossible as it seems. What enabled her to shut off the breaker? The time of the murder enabled Warden LaGuardia to shut off the power.
The time.
Yes.
The way I read your mind? Okay, can you read my mind right now? What do I want to eat for dinner that I don't have?
She couldn't have done it alone, but what if she wasn't alone?
Ooh, now we're talking. Way to flex the old gray matter, kiddo.
I believe that Warden LaGuardia had an accomplice.
Enough. You disappoint me, Mr. Edgeworth.
What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth has said nothing wrong!
The inmates of this prison are all issued with security bracelets.
The ones that raise the alarm if people go where they're not supposed to. Ah!
I see that you've realized your error. And we are, of course, within the prison grounds, where not only are the bracelets worn, but even the guards surveil each other for signs of wrongdoing. Oh, tonkatsu would be really good for dinner. I want tonkatsu. I was actually thinking of like tacos or nachos, but no, I don't think tonkatsu would go good with nachos. I had a burger and I predict you want curry. Oh, I do want butter chicken. Oh, guys, I can't afford to DoorDash. You guys know that.
And despite all that, no one noticed Mr. Carcerato's escape?
The only ones who are free to roam are the animals. And they most certainly could not have operated the breaker.
No. So our accomplice must be human.
Cheesy puldak? Ooh. Here's the thing, is I love puldak, but I feel like when I cook it, it never ends up being good. It comes out too soupy. Am I doing something wrong? You still haven't gotten butter chicken? No, I haven't.
So our accomplice must be human.
Nachos from where? I don't know, just a nacho place. Then who did it, given that it cannot have been a prisoner or a guard?
I wouldn't be so quick to rule out either, Your Honor. The fact is, there's one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted. And I have just the evidence to show who that free-roaming person was!
Take that!
This is one of the prisoner's bracelets.
Indeed. A broken bracelet belonging to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner.
What do you mean? And who is this prisoner?
Frank Sowett, Warden LaGuardia's favorite inmate.
Ooh, you know what else sounds good too? Have you guys ever had poke nachos?
Ooh, yummy!
It's like poke, but then they use like crispy wontons. Gavel has crimped bangs.
It's strange, isn't it, Warden? That he was able to keep his broken bracelet hidden and wander freely around the prison all the while.
That's pretty funky, and I don't mean in a good way.
It couldn't be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, could it? Although you are in the habit of giving such leeway to certain others. Bodhidharma Canis, for example.
Overruled.
Mr. Edgeworth, that is pure speculation.
Objection!
They were expensive though. Would you get them from like Yard House?
In that case, why don't we ask Mr. Sowett himself? I'm confident he will confirm for us that he and Warden LaGuardia were accomplices in this crime. If the two of them have worked together, a certain route into the prison becomes viable. The real route by which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Recall that there were two big obstacles in her path. First, the security camera outside Knight's cell. Second, the electrified fence in the yard. But she was able to remove both obstacles in one fell swoop. By having Mr. Sowett shut off the corresponding breakers!
Bob, thank you for following and joining the Konstellations. Welcome in. The fish they used were ahi-ahi. Ooh. Poke nachos. I look spicy mayo.
Yummy!
Hold it. All right, Mr. Edgeworth. You've had your fun.
And? Do you still deny it, Warden LaGuardia?
No, darling. You've got me. I admit it.
Warden! Tell me this isn't true!
Sorry, Verity, honey. I'm afraid it is. Frankie helped me do it.
No way! You did it, Mr. Edgeworth! You've got her!
Nice shooting, cowboy. She won't be wriggling out of this one now.
As Mr. Edgeworth said, I had Frankie switch off the breaker. But we didn't kill Knight, did we? No, sweetums. No, we didn't.
What?
Warden, explain yourself.
Oh, Verity dear. I doubt your precious goddess will be wanting to hear my excuses now. She's all merciful. You have but to confess and you shall be saved. Oh gosh. All right. I was being threatened. I had no choice but to do as he said.
Who's he?
Bodhidharma Canis, that awful assassin.
Canis!
Oh, how long has it been since that awful man came here to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived.
Oh my god. Okay, so I think you can very easily make poke noxious at home. So, I can go to H Mart and I can get like sushi grade salmon from there, and then just buy some like wonton wrappers, and then like fry the wonton wrappers, and then use that as the chips, and maybe even cut them into triangles. Fry those, and then spread out the salmon, and then maybe add in some like soy sauce and some sesame oil. Oh, my favorite, sesame oil and spicy mayo. And then maybe garnish on a little green onion razzle dazzle. And then, wait, maybe I can make them for like a party next time. Ooh, I'm kind of onto something.
The moment we were alone, he said this to me.
You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution.
Others?
Yes. Very loyal dogs. Dogs who will do anything I ask of them.
Of course, he wasn't talking about real dogs. He was talking about furries. And then he said one last thing.
I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have to set my dogs on you. Or your precious family.
I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for.
Everything? Wait, is that how he became the fixer?
Yes, darling. I obeyed his every command and smuggled in for him all that he wanted.
I also just realized the fox, you know what it kind of looks like? You guys know, like, when you eat shrimp, like full shrimp with like the head and everything, they got those beady eyes? That's what this little fox's eyes look like. Ow!
Eventually, I brought dear sweet Frankie into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him, too.
So you were smuggling in contraband. How exactly?
Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breakers. That allowed me to go from my office into the yard without having been seen by the cameras. Then I simply dropped the packages down the well on the prison side and went back through the fence.
I'm very picky about how I get my shrimp. I don't like whole shrimp, and I don't like it with the shell. I need it like peeled, deveined. Just give me like literal takeout shrimp.
Each one of them spritzed with a little of my perfume.
So that's what the sweet smell was.
Yes, it was a signal for Canis's dog. When he picked up the scent, he would fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. We had to make sure Rocco wasn't in his cell at the time, of course.
Can't have been easy keeping him from finding out.
Oh, we're all very much creatures of habit here at the prison, darling. Everything runs to a schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there.
This is the second time the plot relevant perfume? Yeah, I was thinking of that too. The other diva, what was her name? Callisto U. I can't eat shrimp, but y'all can get the whole shrimp. Yeah, like some people like eating that. I don't like that.
And that adorable little bear of his freezes with fright at the sight of Canis's dog, poor thing. So there was no risk of him raising the alarm either.
She has oversight over everything here at the prison, which made her the perfect mule. With her on his side, Canis couldn't fail.
Frankie would sneak out again early in the morning to switch the breakers back on, and our work was done. Apart from fixing the time codes on the cameras, which I would do later when I got the chance.
You've shared a great deal, Warden. The goddess of justice will surely take your honesty into account.
I've been the most dreadful fool. I know I have. I'm supposed to be the one in charge. The day of Knight's murder was also one of our delivery days. And so Frankie, bless his heart, did his usual work with the breakers. But there was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go into the yard.
So that's the secret behind the fixer system, and why she was...
The police have been trying to track down his accomplices for the longest time. Even I've had to lend them a hand myself, you know. Heaven knows how many times I've hauled the secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to me. But no matter what I say, or how much evidence I present him with, he simply won't say a word.
That's why you were interrogating Mr. Canis over and over.
Exactly. I was trying to track down those horrible hench people of his. I borrowed everything the police had on that rotten scoundrel. I watched his every move, intercepted every letter he wrote.
His letters? Then I suppose she must know about his correspondence chess games, too.
No matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to who his underlings were. Living in fear like this, it's... Oh, you just can't comprehend it.
As you've just heard for yourself, Mr. Edgeworth, the words of Warden LaGuardia's confession have cleansed her of all suspicion. Surely there's no need to hound her any longer.
Has she really been cleared of all suspicion, though? Or is there more about her to uncover?
Oh, there's definitely more, baby.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this conversation isn't over yet. And I think the goddess of justice would agree.
So you mean to make her suffer even more than she already has?
Unfortunately, her suffering under Mr. Canis does nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of and even facilitated the so-called fixer's delivery route. I believe she used that same route to move Knight's body.
And where is your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
It is in the fact that the sweet smell on Knight's body is the exact same scent Warden LaGuardia uses to signal a delivery. What do you make of that?
Well, that's because we've done it so many times by now that the whole well probably smells of it. Some of it may have just rubbed off on his body.
That does match the statement that Mr. Carcerato provided.
The smell. Yeah, always smelled kinda nice down there.
Nice.
Gee, I don't know. Smelled sorta like dessert, I guess.
His words do seem to suggest that the smell had permeated the well. Ugh! You've been rendered speechless, I see. Then I hereby move to adjourn this session of the court.
No! What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth?
What can I do? Is this as far as we go?
Finally! So we're actually done?
Yes, Eustace. It seems we are. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned.
Hold it!
Who was that? Hold it! Come on, Judge G. Things were getting pretty good.
Fender!
Are you objecting to my adjourning this session? No. Would have shouted objection if I wanted to do that. You do you, G. Adjourn, don't adjourn, whatever floats your boat.
What are you doing, Mr. Fender?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's all just take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a square of chocolatey goodness. Anyone? Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court? No, my bad. Just had a quick request to make it all is all. A Simeon Saint's lawyer, that is. Ah, yes. I'd forgotten that you were his real attorney, Mr. Fender. Oh, good ya. You're killing me here.
Can you blame us? You've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time.
Right you are. Which is why I figured it's time to put in some work. Work, you say? Somehow I don't believe you've worked a day in your life. Then let's say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. Mind if I question the witness? Now, amusing, but what is there left to ask? I got a feeling, woo-hoo, in my funny bone that Thief's here has something more to tell us about the killer.
Do I?
Yes, indeed. See, as a major player on Team Simeon, I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, do you? So tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans, we're all ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is he doing?
He's trying to coax Warden LaGuardia into giving something away. Ask yourself, why would she go through all the trouble of sending Knight's body on such an odd journey? It's because she wanted to frame Mr. Canis.
She did? No way!
If he was convicted of committing murder here, that could have been grounds for a transfer to another prison. Most likely a more secure facility.
And where he'd be out of her hair forever, huh?
Precisely. She saw her opportunity and seized it.
No! Sage can't not be the killer! That's not fair! I was all ready to prosecute him!
I know, right? But maybe we should find out what she thinks first. Don't want to get the wrong guy, yeah?
Nice! Now Mr. Winter can go along with it, too!
Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further? Of course! How could I refuse this?
Oh, of course! How could I refuse this silver-tongued devil? Eddykins! You have such a way with words.
Just doing my job, thief.
Besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? I'm simply dying to tell all verity, darling. Do say you'll let me.
As you wish. Court is unadjourned.
I can't believe you pulled that one off, Mr. Fender!
Me either.
Thank you for the timely intervention.
Hey, it's the least I could do. Kay's not wrong. I've been leaning on your help hard. And besides, the defense never rests, am I right? Simeon's dependent on us. Sadly, I think I just about exhausted my reserves of cool lawyer chat there. We can't foul this up now. Which means you're up to bat, Miles McSmiles? Miles McSmiles. Show 'em that never rest spirit.
I shall.
Fabulous. Let's get started then.
You know what I'm also thinking of right now, food-wise? I saw on TikTok that there's like this special Wetzel's pretzels that does different things that aren't just the basic pretzels you see at the mall. And I want to go because I really want pretzels.
I really don't think anyone could have done it but that dreadful man, Canis. There's no telling what happened between him and the victim. Perhaps he visually took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sordid details, it was him. He stabbed the poor man to death. And then he had his dog dispose of the body. That simply has to be what happened. The victim, Mr. Knight, yes? I did him the most terrible disservice.
Yes. You killed him.
I suppose you could put it that way. If I weren't such a sorry excuse for a warden, this would never have happened. And that's why I have to clean up this terrible mess.
Warden LaGuardia, as ever, your honesty is truly to your credit. I'm certain Mr. Knight is looking down and weeping tears of gratitude.
You clearly never met Mr. Knight.
Miles McSmiles. That makes me smile.
Hold it!
What more can you tell us about those sordid details?
Well, we all know what Canis once did for a living. I doubt the killing part gave him much trouble. Especially as the victim was already injured. His neck, I think. Couldn't turn his head to the right, poor dear. That's what they told me when they brought him in anyway.
They must make some sort of report for the warden when the new prisoners are admitted. You seem keen for us to think you didn't know much about Knight.
That's because I didn't, sweetie. And the victim was simply a fun target to that monster. Nothing more. I expect Canis used the chisel that was hidden in that chess set, don't you? Awful, grisly business. Just imagine. That man probably didn't even have time to cry out.
I see. Thank you for your thoughts. They were very helpful. Actually, I'd like to hear about them in a little more detail, if you don't mind.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you're making me blush. I could chat with you all day. Oh, don't look so nervous, darling. I'm only teasing. Of course we can talk about them some more.
Hold it!
And which chess set would that be, precisely?
Why, the one the victim brought in, sweetie. You try to keep up. The victim was a certified chess fanatic, or so I'm led to believe. But the naughty boy snuck a chisel inside it. Can you imagine?
How does she know about the chisel in the chess set? Only a few people were supposed to know about that. After all, we only learned about it thanks to a certain deductions we made. So how did she find out?
Of course, in the hands of a killer like Canis, even a chisel could serve as a deadly weapon.
Objection!
Oh,
Objection!
Warden LaGuardia, you strike me as being more careful than the image you project suggests.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, please. Call me Fifi, or Sweetie Pie, if you prefer.
However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realize in this instance.
Tee, aren't you just the most adorable little creature? Don't be embarrassed. We're all family here.
No.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't let her get inside your head.
You said earlier that you didn't know much about Knight. In which case, I find it rather strange that you know about the chisel.
Well, of course I do, darling. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in?
Objection!
You're not tucking your way out of this, Warden. That is entirely irrelevant, and you know it! Knight didn't bring the chess set into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight wouldn't have had it with him when he arrived!
What? I mean, of course that. When Mr. Saint came in,
You checked him? I find that hard to believe because if you did, that makes your story all the stranger! If you found the chisel, why didn't you confiscate it there and then?
Ah!
Judge Gavel, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chess set?
Hi, KK. Welcome in.
I did not. If no one leaked our findings, then how exactly did you learn about the chisel, Warden LaGuardia? Because it certainly couldn't have been when you checked Mr. Knight or Mr. Saint on their arrival.
Indeed. Such a thing would imply an intentional oversight if it had been found yet let through.
Precisely. So, Warden LaGuardia, and answer truthfully this time. Where and when did you learn about the chess set? If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit that you...
Hold it! All right, darling. There's no need to rub it in. You got me. All right? I questioned Knight. That was when I learned about the chess set. But please, you have to believe me. I did not kill him.
One moment, Warden. This is a significant development. The court requests that you make a detailed statement on the record. Any objections, Mr. Edgeworth?
None, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, darlings. I'll clear up this awful misunderstanding, I promise.
Very well. Go ahead, Warden LaGuardia. And please,
tell the truth this time.
Her lies are starting to wear thin. This is my chance to expose her.
My truth. Part 2. I said I questioned Knight, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand? I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was no different. We just had a little chat, you might call it. And after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away.
The more she lies, the more thoroughly she seals her fate.
So it was simply a conversation with a new detainee. That seems entirely above board.
Exactly, Verity, darling. I knew you'd understand.
Well, I don't. What proof do you have to back your statement?
I suppose we shall see, won't we? Mr. Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination.
Hold it!
How was he when you spoke with him?
Oh, he was so open and honest, darling. What?
That guy? Honest?
He was talking about one croissant and promoting a prawn. I suppose he must have been hungry.
En passant and promoting a pawn. It seems he spared no one from his obsession with chess.
What's en passant?
Hold it!
If he really had gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today.
Hold it! You really think I murdered the poor man right there in my office, do you? But what would my motive have been, darling? I told you I barely knew him. I'm no angel. I have my grudge against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal.
She really does hate Canis. Warden LaGuardia, I must insist that you append that statement to your testimony.
A special move you can make in chess?
En passant.
Hold it!
You say that you bear a grudge against only Mr. Canis. Is that correct?
No, I despise him. Coming into my prison, thinking he could do whatever he wants. But I won't get away with it, or he won't get away with it. I'll clip his wicked wings if it's the last thing I do. And that awful dog of his, it's a menace. Completely upended the peace and quiet of my home.
She even hates his dog. It does seem at first glance that she didn't have much of a motive to kill Knight. But she hates Canis so much that she probably hates anyone who has anything to do with him. Thinking about it from that angle, the key to breaking her testimony will surely reveal itself. She likes to get to know all the peeps, huh? Pretty chummy prison warden, if you ask me. Chummy? She killed the man, detective.
Poor guy would have been in cuffs, not to mention the neck brace. He was defenseless.
Warden LaGuardia was the murderer. The evidence points to that conclusion and no other.
If I remember right, if you send out a pawn 2 spaces and it's next to your opponent, they can take your pawn diagonally without it being in the core spot. What?
Objection!
Judge Gavel. I'd like you to take a look at this.
Notes about a game of chess. What is the significance of this, Mr. Edgeworth?
It was found in Knight's cell. Which is exactly where you said you saw it too, Warden LaGuardia. But you didn't just see this game in Knight's cell, did you? You've seen it in Mr. Canis' cell too.
Hold it! What do you mean?
Oh, come now. Don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chessboard in maximum security. I imagine you watch his every move like a hawk. Or rather, I imagine you feel that doing so is your only option.
If she wants to find out who his cronies are, right?
Personally interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. But as you said, Mr. Canis had threatened you. He put your precious home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were.
And so what if I did?
You also told us you read his letters, which means you must have known about one key fact. You knew he was playing correspondence chess! And then, who should appear but Knight, carrying with him a diagram of a very particular game. We ourselves use that diagram to infer a connection between the two men.
Hi, Blossom. Welcome in, and hello, Jinja.
And it seems you came to the same conclusion. But in your fear, you took your reasoning one step further. You surmised that Knight was Mr. Canis' henchman sent to kill you!
Which is the real reason she had that chat with the Bronxster. If his boss wouldn't crack, maybe he would.
And when you questioned Knight, you made another discovery. For there inside his chess set, you found a hidden chisel.
The murder weapon itself!
And as far as you were concerned, that chisel meant one thing. Canis! Thus, you convinced yourself that Knight was working for Canis, and that is why you killed him! I see you have no more excuses. Judge Gavel, your verdict, please!
Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be little room for doubt. I hereby give my verdict. Bronco Knight was murdered by... in the name of the goddess of justice! Who is it this time? Warden.
Yeah! It's a joke! It's all a big, stupid joke! You people just don't get it, do you?
I think we've proven that it's you who didn't understand things correctly.
Me? Please, darling, I understand it all perfectly well. Thank you very much. And I understand that there's a glaring contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth!
You're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this. Your Honor, the verdict.
I'm curious to hear what the warden has to say.
What?
Oh, you're a doll, Verity. I just have one last thing to say. That Mr. Edgeworth can be declared the winner.
You rang?
Does anybody remember a certain autopsy report?
Of course. We received the finalized version only this morning.
That's right. And I was listening to what you told us about it, Verity, even if nobody else was. You said the wound was 4 inches deep.
4 inches?
Wait.
Riddle me this, Mr. Edgeworth. How does a tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound? No! Oh, forgive me, oh goddess. I came perilously close to making a terrible mistake. Looks like your theory is the one that doesn't hold water, Mr. Edgeworth. What now, What do we do?
It'll be fine, Mr. Edgeworth always comes through. Right, sir.
Looks to me the Milesatron's out of commission. Milesatron!
You're an attorney too, aren't you? Why aren't you doing something? Turns things on their head with a desperate bluff. Blurt out the first mind-blowing thing that comes to you.
Look, Detective, I'm as much of a man of action as the next guy. But without evidence, we're up a creek without a paddle here. This might be the end of the road.
We can't give up now. We have to do something.
I'm certain that Warden LaGuardia is.
So the killer!
It's the only explanation that fits the facts of this case. But if the chisel wasn't the murder weapon, what other bladed weapon is there here in this facility?
It seems we still do not have all the answers, nor the evidence to provide those. Are you kidding me, guys? We're 3 hours in. Alas, we must wait until the trial to see the matter resolved, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Oh, come on, G! You're just giving the killer a chance to destroy the evidence!
Overruled.
Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Fender?
Yeah, but, no, not me. Nuh-uh. I tried, Miles. Any brilliant ideas?
What is the real murder weapon, since it's clearly not the chisel? Confound it! This question throws everything we've deduced out of the window!
Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth. Allow me to remind you that claims not supported by sufficient evidence are subject to the harshest penalties.
It's hopeless! I can't think of anything. I need more time.
Loath as I am to admit it,
You can't give up now. Remember what Mr. Fender said. Simeon's counting on us. Without us, he's... Remember how upset he was? He was devastated. Nobody's in more pain than him over Mr. Knight's death. There's no way he did it. But if we can't save him, who will? And what's more, he believes in us. He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news. And I, for one, won't walk away until we have some.
Kay. Gee, Miles. Your little buddy there is quite the motivational speaker. And she's right, too. When you find yourself on the ropes, think of your client. Picture them pleading with you to help them. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end? Think of your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things looked, he always found a way to turn it around and save his client. And you're just like him. Right? If there's any way to force a turnabout here, you're the one who'll find it. Simeon's counting on you.
Judge Gavelle.
You seem to have recovered your composure, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you mean to attempt a defense, I would advise you to consider the ramifications. You have repeatedly proposed misguided theories and have made numerous false accusations. If you do so again, I will have no choice but to judge you unfit to serve as a prosecutor and relieve you of your badge for good.
She's right. I've put forward a number of theories that prove to be flawed in one way or another. Have I made some sort of fundamental oversight? Wait, she said my theories were misguided.
Nothing to say. Then the court will tolerate no more of your time wasting. I hereby
Sir!
Mr. Edgeworth!
give my verdict.
That's it. I've been thinking about it all the wrong way all this time. My theories weren't misguided. I was being misled.
Objection!
I think I'm a little soon for that, Your Honor.
I'd say it's well past due, darling. Wouldn't you agree, Verity?
Mr. Edgeworth, you may proceed.
What?
Okay, before we get into it, I gotta take a break because I gotta go pee. And I'm gonna put some food in the air fryer as well. So, if you need to, we are gonna take a quick break, go use the bathroom, go grab a snack, go do what you gotta do. And when we come back, we'll see how much longer this is gonna take because, wow, this was a long case. BRB. All right, we are back. Can you guys do me a favor? And can you guys remind me in 10 minutes that my air fryer is ready? I put in some little, I got these things. They're like, they're little gnocchi. They're little gnocchi dumplings that have, like pasta sauce inside. So they're like little bites that just have pasta bites, bursts. I don't know how to explain them. I got them from Aldi.
I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sighting of his dog, Helmut, the fact that he wasn't at the show. These and other factors made Mr. Canis the obvious suspect at first.
Shmoopskun, thank you so much for 6 months in the Superstar Sub Club. Thank you for continuing to produce me. Kurojusa-san. Gnocchi soup dumplings, they're almost like soup dumplings, yeah.
This again, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem almost proud of your blunder.
Hold it!
But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Canis? What if it was all carefully arranged? And what if the same was true of the chisel, our purported murder weapon? Knight had been stabbed multiple times in the same place with a bladed instrument. What if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Just to leave traces of blood on it for us to find. That was how the killer misled us into thinking the chisel is the murder weapon. But why mislead us in this way? Why indeed? Why make us think the chisel is the murder weapon rather than whatever was really used? Warden, you took advantage of what the chisel seemed to suggest.
What it suggested? What are you talking about, darling?
Hold it!
Mr. Winner, if I were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think?
That Mr. Canis is the killer?
And there you have it. That was the trap the warden laid.
What?
That was the trap the warden set out for us.
Oh, Mr. Canis is a bunch of chisels, so she wanted us to think it was one of his, right?
Indeed. That was her plan right from the start. To frame Bodhidharma Canis!
Your reasoning would appear to be sound. Warden LaGuardia certainly seems to harbor a deep and abiding hatred for Mr. Canis. However, I think you know what I am going to say next. That alone is not sufficient proof that Warden LaGuardia is the killer.
I knew that wouldn't be enough. There's only one thing that will prove it. The real murder weapon that we now must know exists.
If you cannot prove your theory, then this conversation ends here.
Objection!
If we could just find the real murder weapon.
Objection!
How many times do we have to go over this? We searched the prison from top to bottom!
Eustace is quite correct. No other possible murder weapon has been found, so I'm afraid you are at a bit of an impasse.
Objection!
I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor. Because it's still here inside this prison. This would have made sure of that.
Mew, thank you for following and joining the Konstellations. Welcome in.
The security gate?
I am glad that you at least remember what it is.
And do you remember what it does?
Of course I do! I'm not an idiot! The security gate detects metal! Which means you can't bring anything metal inside the prison or take it out! Oh.
Precisely. If there is another murder weapon, it cannot be taken off the premises!
But nor could it have been brought into the prison in the first place. And so we find ourselves right back where we began.
Judge Cavell?
What I am trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth, is that if you wish for me to believe that there is another murder weapon here in the prison, you will also have to explain to me how it got here.
All right. We know that the chisel was smuggled into the prison inside a pocket chess set. But our contention is that the chisel is not the real murder weapon. So if the weapon came from outside of the facility, then there must have been a way to bring it in.
Yes, the question of the hour is this. Can you show me this alternate route?
How did the weapon Warden LaGuardia use get into the prison?
The circus!
You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation, is that correct?
Why, yes, sweetie. Everything related to Canis is with me now. Heaven knows how many times I've hauled the secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to me.
Of course! That's how!
Yasmin, thank you for the care package. Everyone, let's go ahead and stand up from our seats. Asha. We're gonna twist our bodies to the left. Twist our bodies to the right. Let's go and stretch our arms straight up to the sky. Let's roll out that right shoulder. Roll out that left shoulder. Very slowly, very gently, let's roll out that neck. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Let's go ahead and drink some water. Thank you for taking care of me.
The fact that this is here with us shows how a bladed object could have been brought into the facility as well!
The chess set?
Take that!
Nice thinking! That's a great way to get something made of metal into the prison!
Indeed. Even a...
Ugh!
Take that!
The fact that this is here with shows how to blade it.
Well,
Air fryer soon? Oh, has it been 10 minutes? I'll go in a bit. Just give me 1 second. Oh, the bell.
Allow me to remind you of our conversation with Mr. Canis yesterday.
Yes, it was one of my bells. One of only 2 in existence.
Just 2?
2 and only 2. One for my knife, and one for my beloved helmet. Exquisitely crafted, utterly unique. My ears are my guide, after all. And I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me.
Alright, I'll save my game right now. Why is his head so long and pointy? He's a Megamind.
So you see, there is a way for objects to be brought into the prison unscrutinized. As part of the evidence, Warden LaGuardia borrowed from the police!
what?
Mr. Canis' knife was part of the evidence in the case against him, and that evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it.
The bell that was attached to the chisel!
Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to the chisel.
But that can't be right! The chisel only had Mr. Knight's fingerprints on it!
Easy enough to explain if the killer wore gloves. She made it look as if the chisel was the murder weapon, then attached the bell to it. In so doing, she made sure that all the evidence pointed to Mr. Canis. And who had access to the evidence from which the bell was taken? Why, only the person to whom it had been entrusted. Who was it, sir? Who'd been messing with the evidence?
I believe that would be you. Isn't that correct, Warden LaGuardia?
Hold it! Bells aren't exactly rare, you know. Anybody could have set that up.
Unluckily for you, that isn't quite true. These less particular bells are unique. Because there are only 2 of them in existence!
What?
By attaching that bell to the chisel, you as good as declared yourself the killer.
Hold it! But you don't have any proof the knife was ever even here to begin with!
I don't. Not yet, anyway. Mr. Winner, I would like for you to order another search of the prison right away.
Huh? But if you find something, that's gonna make things awkward for me.
This isn't about what's convenient for you. We have to find the truth. You are a prosecutor, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but, you know...
This worthless excuse for a prosecutor! If I had investigative authority, I wouldn't be sitting on it!
Anyhow, it's not my decision to make. The warden would have to authorize it.
You know full well that she will do no such thing. You have the power to insist on a search. Use it!
Sorry, darling, but not without that evidence.
The goddess of justice cannot bestow her blessings on those who lack the proof to support their claims. Our work here is done. The rest of this matter will have to be settled in the courtroom.
No! If we give LaGuardia the opportunity, she will destroy whatever evidence is left! I have to object. I have to stop them! But What do I say? I don't have any concrete to offer. What am I thinking? I'm never this reckless. No, I can't back down now. I've got to put everything on the line. I'm not a prosecutor right now. I'm an associate attorney with a client to defend. Only I can save Mr. Saint. And that means, even if my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, it's still worth a shot. It's now or never. Should I object?
Edgeworth, you can object after I go get my my gnocchi. I'll BRB. I come back and see the most unhinged comment from Schmoops. You guys are so funny.
I suppose this must be how it... I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels. Regardless, I cannot walk away.
Objection!
Wait, Your Honor. This had better be good, Mr. Edgeworth. I will not be contained. I've got it. Got what exactly? A boyfriend?
The real murder weapon, of course! I know where Mr. Canis's knife is!
Do you really, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. Not at all.
If I did not know better, I would say that you were bluffing.
Ha! You wound me, Your Honor. I don't know the meaning of the word. Ugh, this is terrible for my heart.
There's no way you could. It's not here, I tell you. Well, would you be so kind as to enlighten us? Where is this quote-unquote real murder weapon?
Think, Miles, think! Somewhere not even the police would search. A blind spot in this zoo. A hiding place that the warden could be absolutely sure of. A hiding place? No! If you insist. Come on, Helmet. Open up. Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But the more I think about it,
Who here's realized it? Who here's pieced it together? Because I know what it is now. I get it.
the more that I think about it, how many foolproof ways to evade detection could there be?
I'm stupid, so I have no clue. No, you're not stupid, Haru. You're actually an evil genius because you eliminated Honey Crisp. Her fox? No. Okay. Mr. Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting?
There's the faintest possibility that I'm right. But if I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything. Your Honor, this is where the real murder weapon is hidden. Take that!
Here? In the yard?
Indeed.
I don't believe I understand. Would you care to explain a little more? Where exactly is the real murder weapon hidden? For once, I knew it. Everyone, on the count of 3, we're all gonna say take that, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Take that! Of course. That's what it must have been. Huh? What's the matter, detective? It's the metal detector, sir. It's, reacting to the alligator.
What? How?
The metal detector was reacting to something inside her after all. Your Honor, I would like to remind you of this piece of evidence.
The chisel.
Didn't we just figure out that it isn't the murder weapon?
You might recall that Mr. Canis hid this chisel inside his dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way? That's right! The murder weapon is hidden inside the alligator in that pond over there!
What? No way!
We detected the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation. Judge Gavell, we need to know what's inside that alligator.
Understood. Then we will need to summon a veterinarian.
I'm sure I could get little Sweetie to open it up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try.
Please, by all means.
She's not the killer?
Warden LaGuardia, the real murder weapon is about to be revealed.
Oh my god, Kiro, Dr. Crab? Dr. Crab?
Why not do the right thing and confess?
Wait, what was her sprite like in this game?
I have nothing to confess.
As you wish. Then you can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed. Sir, we got it!
This has to be it.
It's over, Fifi LaGuardia. The real murder weapon was Bodhidharma Canis' knife, making you the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight.
I'm not the criminal here. This is all Canis is doing. I did the right thing. Knight was a threat. He was Canis' lapdog. Curse the despicable man, Canis. Why did you have to come here and ruin my perfect little home? We could have been happy forever if it wasn't for him. He ruined my paradise on earth. He ruined everything. Curse him. Curse that pitiless butcher. An awful devil. Curse him.
March 29th, 12:34 p.m. Detention Center. Corridor.
Prosecutor Thwinner, sir. The test results have just come back.
Thwinner? I guess we've all been under a lot of stress.
Traces of Bronco Knight's blood were found on Mr. Canis' knife. It's just like you said, sir. Congratulations on a stunning victory. Thank you, officer. Excellent work. You can continue complimenting me if you like. Yes, sir. Thwinner wins again. I think I'm welling up a little.
With rage.
Excellent work, Eustace. Just a few loose ends to tie up and we're done.
Huh? What are you talking about? I just solved the case, didn't I?
Oh, I am so sick of this guy. I am sorry. I can't. I can't stand him. I can't stand him, and I cannot stand him.
We've yet to confirm whether or not Knight really was working for Mr. Canis. It will be vital to know if Warden LaGuardia was simply jumping to conclusions on that front.
Huh?
There's Clueless, and then there's you.
Well, then I guess we'd better get back to our investigation. All right, officer, you're with me. You're about to see the winner win a whole lot more. Prepare to witness first-rate investigative talent in action.
Yes, sir. I'm right with you, sir.
It's winning time!
Oh, he should have Naruto ran. That would have been so funny. I expect this case will cause quite a stir. The attempted murder of a president is news enough, and now his would-be assassin has been murdered.
But Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place.
The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edgeworth. In the eyes of both society and the law.
How can you even say that?
You do not have to believe me. However, as a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world that he operates in.
Being a prosecutor is more than proving people guilty. That's what I believe.
We are all free to believe as we choose, but the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals. If you refuse to accept this, then you must prepare to suffer the consequences.
What does that even mean? Wait, you're not gonna take his...
Shh. I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edgeworth.
Ooh, wait, what do we think?
do we think she's actually evil, or do we think that she's trying to be the antagonist to push Edgeworth to be better? Maybe it's like she's trying to like be the force that opposes him so that he has like some high stakes to go up against, because obviously they can't bring Phoenix in right now, right? Ooh. A morally gay diva.
Judge Gavelle is right. There must be only one set of laws for everyone. But if following the law means sacrificing the truth, can I really do that in good conscience?
Simeon, you're out!
Hi, Regina. You better not have a crush on her.
Is everything all right? They did let you out, right?
Yeah, but I'm so confused as to what's going on. Some guy just came in and said I was free to go, and that I have Mr. Edgeworth to thank.
You sure do! Mr. Edgeworth found out who the real killer is!
Wow, really? You did that for me, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, no! No! Stop staring at me like that! I'm innocent, I swear! Don't pull the rug out from under me now!
Stop it, silly! It's true! He saved you! So say thanks already!
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you.
And a great big Regina Berry thank you from me too!
Mr. Saint talking directly to me? Small victories, I suppose.
Man, it would have been so funny if Regina was the killer. Fuck. Can I just ask one question, Mr. Attorney?
Sure. I'm not actually an attorney, though.
I thought Bronco was my friend. No, my best friend. He's my best friend. I trusted him, but now...
But now?
Well, it's just... I never knew. I never would have believed that he could hate somebody enough to want to kill him. If he kept something like that from me, then he never really trusted me, did he?
That's not true, Simeon. Of course he trusted you.
No, he didn't. If he had, if he just told me, I could have stopped him. I could have told him that hate never helps. And he'd have to just let go of all of that stuff.
Mr. Saint, I think you're forgetting something. I should show him the thing that proves Knight trusted him.
His body. He trusted him with his body.
Take that!
It's the chess set I brought for him.
Knight had hidden a chisel inside. I imagine he meant to use it to escape.
What? You mean he was using me?
No, he believed in you. He knew he could count on you to bring it. And that you would never have been so untrusting as to look inside. I imagine that by not telling you, he was hoping he could keep you from getting caught up in his mess.
Oh. Bronco! Why didn't you tell me?
At At least you understand now, right, Simeon? I'm sure he does. He may not show it, but Simeon's no dummy. A good night's sleep is all, and he'll be completely over this thing by tomorrow.
A good night's sleep and he'll just be completely over his best friend dying.
That's not as complimentary as you think it is.
I'll try. I have to. For Bronco. I have to show him I can become the best animal trainer out there.
That's the spirit.
Abracadabra, amor hunana.
Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon.
I'd love for you to come. Nope. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I don't want to see his face. No. Nope.
I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one.
That's right. The Berry Vic Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun. Sounds great, doesn't it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, we gotta go.
Well, I'll think about it.
All right, Simeon, we got some training to do. I think it's time you and Regent got acquainted.
He just got out of prison, honey.
Regent the tiger? No way, I can't. No.
Oh, you'll be fine, silly. You've never met a nicer kitty cat.
I can't.
Please, Regina. Anything but that. Please. Another satisfied customer. Well, that was really something, Smiles. Talk about pulling it out of the bag.
I couldn't have done it without you, Fender. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. Besides, I have you to thank for even being able to investigate the case in the first place.
No, stop it. Pat me on the back any harder and you're gonna make me blush. Or topple over.
I suppose it would be asking too much for you to take this seriously.
Seriously? Miles, my friend, I'm always serious. Anyway, how does it feel to save an innocent client? That's what it means to be an attorney, after all.
To be an attorney.
Gotta say, I had a blast. Reminded me of the good old days. Like Gregory was standing there right beside me. It's been like a zillion years since I felt this warm and fuzzy on the job.
That's good? Bittersweet? I'm not sure.
Say, Miles, you ever thought about getting into the defense game full time?
Excuse me?
You know, pick up where Gregory left off. Get out there and actually help people.
Hey, pal, don't get any big ideas! Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides!
Why not? Come over to the light side's all the rage. Everybody's doing it these days.
Come on, Mr. Fender. You know it's not about that.
Chill, team, chill. Don't get it twisted. I was just asking a perfectly innocent question.
No, you weren't.
The heck you were!
Looks like you've got a mean defense team there yourself, Miles.
Fender, I am a prosecutor.
Yep, and I am an attorney. You could be one too. I'm serious. Well, I said my piece. You change your mind, you know who to call. I'll be waiting. They're both Miles P.
Follow in my father's footsteps. Could I really do such a thing?
ace attorney, just like my dad.
An attorney, like my father. Me?
Bum, 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 bum.
Turnabout Legacy. All right, so, we are done with case 2, which means the next time we play this game, we are gonna be starting episode 3, Turnabout Legacy. Now, this one I'm really excited for because this one is the flashback episode where we play as Edgeworth's father. So I'm really curious to see what's gonna go on because Edgeworth's father, he's been since the first game, like a pivotal, point in Edgeworth's character development. But we actually get to see him talk and hear his words. So I'm really, really, really excited to see what goes on here. I feel like this is what makes the game like even really like especially good. Can we still frame the monk? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I know. I can't believe that's only the second. That's only the second case, guys. We still have 3 more cases, and I imagine if this last case is about Mr. Wiener here, like it's gonna be long. So I'm really jazzed. What did you guys think about having Ace Attorney during the regular week again? I think it helped a little bit. I think I have to get used to everything all over again. Sometimes I feel like I just have such a hard time reading this game sometimes. But I think maybe we'll start next week with it during the week as well. I like to think that when he was thinking that last line, he had his childlike hope show up in his eyes while he's conflicted. I love it. I love drama. I love drama. But that's gonna be for next week. More midweek kissing. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. So that is gonna be all for today. So, if you guys are new here and want to keep up on all the socials, please make sure to join us on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Atelier Kieran. If you guys want to join the Discord server, the link is down there. Anyone is welcome to join as long as you guys are over the age of 18. But you guys need to be 18 or older if you're watching my stream. Or else. Let me see if he is still streaming. Hold on. Oh, not my own VOD. What the hell? Ooh, I think Comet is doing a girly pop lock. Okay, we're gonna go raid Comet Core. I think they are in the middle of a girly pop lock. They're literally doing a vote right now. So let's go ahead and send Comet some good energy. I know that some people here are probably missing some girly pop lock vibes. So let's go ahead and make sure we give some hiya hey heys. Don't forget to send some blankies if you have access to the emotes and all that jazz. And yeah, don't forget to redeem your hiya hey hey now before you lose access to it because your login bonus is about to expire. So take care, guys. I won't be streaming tomorrow, but I will see you guys on Saturday. I think we will be starting Suikoden 2 then. So if you guys are excited for that playthrough, I'll see you then, okay? Until then, take care. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you soon. Otsu Kieran! Bye-bye! Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye!